What up, YouTube? It's your boy Saron with Wisdom Boxing, and we back with another one. And the question is, can Danny Garcia hurt Errol Spence? And in my opinion, the answer to that is no. Now, when you look at the screen, to the left is Errol Spence information, and to the right is Danny Garcia information. And I want you to look at the reach. And you can see Errol Spence has a 3.5 inch reach advantage. 3.5 inch reach advantage. That type of disadvantage against Errol Spence you do not want to have. Because on top of that, Errol Spence is a southpaw that loves to jab and has a very crisp, sharp, strong jab that's going to be coming at your body and your face all night long. All night long. And Danny Garcia, if you look at one of his past fights against Mauricio Herrera, he gave Danny Garcia all types of problems. Why? Because he kept that jab going to Danny Garcia's body and up top all night long. It made Danny Garcia a little uncomfortable, and it made Danny Garcia get out of rhythm. Danny Garcia being a flat-footed fighter, it's not hard to get him out of rhythm because he doesn't have a lot of it. So it's easy to get him out of his groove. And Errol Spence is that type of guy that will do that. Because Errol Spence is going to be going to the body with the jab, but he's going to follow it with some hellacious hooks and uppercuts. It's going to be an extreme body attack. Danny Garcia is a very strong, rugged fighter with a great chin. He's a strong kid, and he's going to come to fight. He's not coming to lay down at all. Danny Garcia's biggest punch is that left hook that could take anybody out. But it's going to be easy for Errol Spence with that 3.5 inch reach advantage to neutralize that. He could take that away from Danny Garcia. Errol Spence can really box. You know, you don't make it to the Olympics and all that if you can't. So Errol Spence, he can really box. He has a great jab. He's very fundamental. And he has great defense up top. He knows how to block a lot of your shots. He's very strong and he's very tight with his defense. And his punches are never wild. They're very sharp. They're very accurate. And it comes at you like missiles on target. And Errol Spence is relentless. Now, Danny Garcia is not a rookie. You know, I believe Danny Garcia has a total of 258 rounds versus Errol Spence's total of 120. So Danny Garcia is coming fight night with tons of experience. He's been in the ring with champions. You know, even when he was at a lower weight class, he was fighting good top competition. Amir Khan, Morales. You know, these are guys that were great fighters. And Danny Garcia was hurting them, putting them to the canvas. Now, you know, coming up to welterweight, you know, Danny Garcia hasn't really hurt any welterweights that's on an A class level, or an A level like a Keith Thurman, a Sean Porter, which Danny Garcia came up short. Even though I felt that he beat Sean Porter, I was at that fight live, probably within the third or fourth row from the ring. And Danny Garcia was blocking a lot of Sean Porter's punches. He was catching Sean Porter very clean. But Errol Spence is not Sean Porter. Errol Spence is bigger, stronger, faster. And this is, you know, we're not talking about the old Errol Spence. We're talking about the Errol Spence 2.0. This is the Errol Spence after death. After near death. We're talking about the Errol Spence that not only got a second chance at life, but God said, here, I'm going to throw in a son. Here's a second chance at life, and oh, by the way, here's your first son. And guess what? Errol Spence is very humble. He was humble before the accident, and he's even more humble now. You can look at this picture and see that Errol Spence is in the best shape of his life by far. I can tell this is the best training camp he's ever had. He's never been this motivated. He's never had to dig this deep. Why is that? He's never experienced a life or death situation. He went through what most people don't ever want to even fathom going through. You know what his parents had to go through, his kids, the mother of those kids. You know that was deep. And Errol Spence, he had to man all of that. He had to carry all of that on his shoulders because that was a mistake he made. He put himself in that situation, and he realized how many people would suffer around him if he was to leave this earth. So the fact, Danny Garcia should have hoped that Errol Spence took a tune-up to unleash all of that on whoever. But unfortunately, he's going to unleash all of that on Danny Garcia. And to me, it's going to be a wipeout. I see Errol Spence, within the first 4 to 5 rounds, just shaking off the cobwebs, just getting the feel, getting the nerves out. You know what I mean? Just getting all that out of his system. But just with the work ethic, the repetition he's been putting in, I think he's going to catch a second win by the 5th or 6th round. And then, when Errol Spence gets that second win, he's coming in for the kill. He likes to get in you. He's going to start being aggressive, throwing combinations, and I just don't see Danny Garcia being able to weather this Errol 2.0 storm. Errol Spence right now is boxing. I see, because of this life or death situation, man, this is going to be the reason why Errol Spence just hands down take over the sport of boxing. He has that type of potential, and what he just went through kind of skyrockets that. And I think he understands that. I think this situation that he survived opened up his eyes to realize the greatness within. And God, the world just had to let Errol Spence, man, we got more work to do with you. But you know, too much is given, much is expected. So this is going to be a great fight this Saturday. I'm looking forward to it because, again, Danny Garcia is a warrior. He's not going to lay down. He's very skilled. Danny Garcia has great defense. I seen that live against Sean Porter. I was impressed. Like, okay. His style don't just jump out you. It's not explosive, but it's so basic, fundamental, man. Danny Garcia is a problem for any fighter in any era in his weight class. Danny Garcia is a future Hall of Famer. Danny Garcia has one of the best resumes in boxing of all boxers right now. And he's just a great guy, great father, great son, just an overall great guy. These are two good young men that was raised well, full of love, very humble, very honest, very dedicated and disciplined to their sport. These are high-level professionals, you guys, that's going to be going at it this Saturday. So tune in, but hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell friends it's Wisdom Boxing. Appreciate it. Again, just hit the little bell and hit the thumbs up. We out.